All right, guys. Good morning. Long time no talk. What the hell's in my car flying around? Let's see what we got flying around real quick. Let's see what we got flying around. Come on. Aerial phenomena. Mosquito. Look at that. We released a mosquito. All right. Didn't have to kill life. All right. Let's get a little chit chat in, guys. Haven't been around for a minute. I'm not sick. I'm just hoarse from probably snoring all night. But just been busy at work doing things there, getting some stuff done. We just opened a new location. I have a great team of people I work with, and we're expanding our company externally, realistically for the first time, and it's exciting for us. So we've been putting all of our time and effort into that, and it's gone very well so far. But let's get to the card scene. I want to talk a little bit about Professor Sports Cards. The thing with, and it's not even just him, it's everybody, I guess. Everybody has their niche for the most part that they bounce in and out of. They have their style, they have the way they do things, and that's what they're comfortable with. And everybody likes to pick on content, but everybody wants to watch the content that gets picked on as well. This guy has just finally left the road. Florida driver here, by the way. And I just find it fascinating sometimes the general dislike for some people. And sometimes it is fun and games. I get it. The problem is some people get way too vulgar, way too personal, or use words that you probably wouldn't technically ever use in front of somebody's face. I know you can type in the moment. I get it. There's a lot of times I type a bunch of stuff out and then I delete it. I'm a talker. Y'all know that. But at the end of the day, go get to know somebody for a second. And if you don't care for what they say, still watch it anyway, because you're going to. Because even I do that. There's very few guys that I don't watch anymore or I'm not subscribed to. If something comes across my feed, maybe the right thumbnail, they use the right words, I'll be somewhat interested. I'll watch it. All right. Like AIH, it's a perfect example. I don't follow his channel anymore. It just kind of became stale and repetitive and overly targeted constantly. And it got boring. And I think that's part of the thing that happens with a lot of the people in the comments or that watch the shows and stuff is this is why my question last time was like, what makes you want to watch content? What do you look for in content? Because a lot of us, it's just repetitive styles, all talking about somewhat the same thing. Because let's face it, a lot of people follow the same group of people. Very rarely do you not, if you're watching my channel, it'd be rare for you not to watch Steve, Dustin, or Neo. That's fine. Mike, baseball card collector, Jeff Wilson, sports card investor. Now our sports card radio, Professor Sports Cards. Maybe Mike Geo right now. He's been out there making the rounds a bit more, and he's a very fun individual to watch because the guy's sharp and can talk. And a lot of people in this hobby are very thought-driven to where they can focus on one thing, but it's hard for them to come up with new stuff while they're on the fly, to be able to be, sometimes slick or sharp or intriguing, really, is what we're looking for. We're just looking for somebody entertaining on a specific level. Professor Sports Card last night, he had a channel up on Whatnot where they were selling or trying to sell like $100,000 Michael Jordan and stuff. And it was more like the Whatnot for like whales. People are spending thousands of dollars on a card per card. And that was probably the most exciting Whatnot I had seen. The problem is I've seen that style before, not just from them, with that energy, which was actually really good. I don't like the switch and bait that they're trying to do to get you to try to buy a specific card that they're not really trying to sell. You could definitely catch on to that if you're paying attention. Didn't like that at all. I understand it's a tactic. I don't like the tactic. It's one of those things where it feels dishonest and or it's baity, and we don't like that. Well, I mean, I like baiting because I'm a fisherman. But the other thing too with Professor Sports Cards is I think he just needs to get to know the people in the hobby a bit more. Where he came back into, he was trying to speak to the Professor Sports Card thing. Not the professor, but the sports card therapy thing. And he was trying to go and watch the video that had come out kind of talking about it just a little bit, and he was trying to catch up on it because he wasn't, I guess, in the YouTube hobby area for when that was going on. So he was trying to go back. And this is where the rest of us have been here now for so long that we have all this secular knowledge that goes backwards, like a reverse domino effect, that we can follow back. And it's the reason why some people don't get along. People don't like people. People think a specific way about somebody. Listen, everybody in life makes mistakes. It's everybody, okay? Like at some point, have a man-to-man talk with somebody, or man-to-woman. I'm not leave out the ladies. Ladies are growing in the hobby. And figure out why you don't like that person on a nice level, not attack. That's the thing too. Some people just want to attack. And some people need to be attacked because they need to be like, what the F are you saying? Because you don't know what you're talking about. And that's just to put them in their place. And if they want to do it in a public forum, like live on YouTube, that's all for them. But at the end of the day, we don't have to be mean to each other. We're all in the same genre. And it's great to have opinions and thought processes. You know, the thing with like Professor Sports Card getting the guy from PSA on and talking, and that being a big deal, is because outside of that interview, and an interview with Nat and a couple other people that for some reason, you know, their NDAs don't matter because they talk about crap all the time, that I'm sure that if a regular person said it, they'd be in trouble. But since they're the head, they get to say what they want, which I get. They're the boss. But you know, to have somebody come out and talk on a channel with all the other channels that we have out there, everybody just, you know, stepping, you know, on or walking the line. That's great. Kudos that he was able to bring that guy on. He said he did the research prior to that with the NDA. He tried not to go too deep into it. I would have went in all the way. I mean, if that guy wants to talk and he's willing to risk that and he doesn't know what he's doing, I'm going to talk. But what is PSA trying to hide? I don't get it. What are they trying to hide? That we're like cornered the market, we'll buy our competition out and dissolve them. You can send a card in 30 times and get 30 different grades, yet we only grade on a 10 scale, but we'll figure it out how to do it. We'll damage your card, we'll do something. Like, we know what it is. They grade harder now. You know, they don't give out as many 10s on purpose. All right. It's also potentially because you got the new guys coming in. They're not used to seeing all the cards anymore, and they're going to grade tougher. I grade my cards really tough. Like, there's cards that I've gotten 9s and 10s on that I wouldn't have gave that grade, but I'm also grading on my scale on what consider a 10 to me is a perfect card or damn near perfect. So to them, there can be these flaws here and there to be a 10. So that's why usually when I grade cards, I do well. And I don't grade cards very often. There is a submission that I want to do. And yes, I'm going to probably grade with PSA because I want to flip these cards. The market is blowing up. The bubble is blowing up. We've seen it already before, guys. And if you think that the bubble's just going to keep getting bigger, the stock market's going to keep going up and never go down again, we're in really weird times. We got some primaries or something getting ready to come up. Market's going to fluctuate with every little thing somebody says. I just think the housing market's messed up. People are being laid off because AI is replacing them. I mean, IBM laid 5,000 people off last month. Oracle laid 5,000 people off this month. It's just like, you got to understand. The report came out with the jobs loss or whatever, and it was like at an all-time high. No duh. People are being replaced by robots or things that aren't even existing. So yes, you're going to see that, guys. And I'm just going to be curious of what's going to happen to the rest of the world's markets when all this starts to happen, because it's not going to be a bunch of positive news. It's going to be a bunch of negative news. So what are we doing with that? Because at some point it's going to affect our market, which is currently running back towards an all-time high. Because as soon as stuff starts hitting all-time highs again, that's when you got to start selling. I mean, we should have learned our lesson from what happened during the boom during COVID. And, you know, a lot of us, if we look back and see what we could have sold something that we still have for, it's crazy. Now, unless it's ultra rare, I know there's these one-offs, that's fine. But I'm talking about the majority of things that we had. And like my Mike Trout Bowman Chrome First auto that I had, it's a true BGS 9.5. And at one point, the highest sale of that card during the pandemic was like over $20,000. Okay, that card's worth, I think, like $4,000, $4,500 now. All right. Now, I didn't buy it for any of those numbers, so I'm still more than up on it. But the amount I could have been up and out on it would have been ridiculous. But because in the mindset and in the time, you just think everything's going to keep going up. And at some point, you don't want to catch a falling knife. So you got to think about what's going on in the hobby right now, guys. We're booming, and we're going to boom for a minute. This isn't like something that's just going to boom and then just go away. This is going to boom for a minute. We got a lot of stuff coming up with Topps, especially with basketball and football. So I do think after football releases and you're about a year into that, next year to into 2027, I think 2027 is where the bubble burst. Some point of 2027. That's what I would say right now. 2027, I'm going to call it mid-year, is when we really get jackhammered by whatever's being thrown at us through life. And just markets in general all regress. Now, things create new floors. That's fine. But what's that floor going to look like? Because every time you're always waiting for the floor to hit to where somebody says, okay, based on where it sold and based on what it's going for now, I feel comfortable buying this. Because that's really what that comes down to when somebody goes blowing past original floors. Anybody that follows the stock market uses this analogy. It's the same analogy. It's just following trends and data at the end of the day and then watching where markets basically flatten out. But that's what I think where we're at, guys. But I do have a card show this weekend. It is the Carolyn Parkway one, Saturday, Sunday, at the Hilton over there in St. Pete, just across Hillsborough. Just across the bridge. I can't think of the bridge right now. I don't know why. But Howard Franklin. I will be at that on Saturday. Didn't have a show this past weekend. Did go to a card trade night, and the trade night was slow at the baseball card clubhouse. I did videotape a few cards. I'll probably throw those up here at the end just so you have a little bit of card action for the episode here. And but it was definitely slow. I stayed there. I sold one card for $65. There were a bunch of kids there, a couple of adults. It was not like it usually is, and I think it was two things. It was Memorial or weekend, or was it Memorial Week? Maybe not. Football season started. So once that happens, people have other things to do on Saturdays and Sundays. So I'm really curious to see how the shows are going to pan out, because usually Sunday shows during NFL football is really slow. College football can ding it up a little bit. Usually there's somebody there that brings a TV or two, so you get to watch a little bit of something. But most people, are sitting at the house, grilling out, meeting up with their buddies, preparing for the next day, because if they're going to watch the game the next day, the wife's not going to let them do anything on Saturday. All the good stuff, guys. But that's where we're at. But like, subscribe, leave a comment. We got Off-Centered tonight with me, Steve, Dustin, and Neo. So tune into that. I don't know what the theme is going to be for that tonight. I know some people probably have some cards to show. I think I might have something to show that I've gotten recently. Let's see. I got some mail coming in too that I may show because I'm kind of collecting a niche object right now, or card type. But all right, guys, take care. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you have any comments on what I said, and hope you enjoy.